The Traveler's Gift, Part 1. If you plan to read this book and you don't want the spoiler alert, don't watch this video. If you're like I was when I was younger in my career and you don't have time to read, but you want the information. Yeah, my phone just fell. We're going to leave that in just for shits and giggles. If you're like I was when I was young in my career, raising kids and working like a crazy person, I didn't have time to read, but the information would have been wonderful. So this is for all of you who don't have time to read or just don't like to read but want the information. Andy Andrews has written many, many books. This is about 23 years old, and I have had it probably since it was released, and I love it. But again, don't watch this video if you think you might want to read it yourself. It's really a quick read, and it's like, I don't know, 200 pages. And even after you hear this, if you decide you want a copy of your own, you should order it, and I'll leave a link in the description. Anyway, it's a fictional piece about a man who's in a really bad place in his life. He has been very successful, but due to no fault of his own, he just finds himself on hard times, and it lingers. The hard times linger, and he becomes increasingly despondent, like he just doesn't see the value of life. He just doesn't understand. He thinks his family is better off without him, and he has that mindset when he is involved in what I think is a car accident, and he journeys through time. Either I can't remember if he's in a coma or he's dead. I can't remember, but he starts journeying through time and having interactions with famous people in our past. So this episode is going to be episode 1, and each episode is going to cover what he learns from these historical figures. So the first lesson, he winds up interacting with Harry S. Truman right before we drop the bomb on Japan, and they have a conversation about the difficulty making that decision. And anyway, lots of good nuggets in there. And the essence of it is Truman teaches him that we are the result of all of our decisions. Like, there's nobody to blame for the situation that you're in except yourself. And granted, maybe we made a not great decision because of an outside pressure, but we still made that decision and we need to own it. And I can speak from experience after what I've been through in my most recent career position. Yeah, I made a lot of decisions that got me where I was. And that's the real reason I'm trying to start this community, because I don't want other people to make the same mistakes that I made. So that's the impetus of the first decision. The book takes you through 7 decisions that can create success in your life. And this is the first one. At the end of every interaction with these famous people, he's given a piece of paper to read. And the piece of paper is basically a commitment to himself, a pledge for a behavior change that will solidify his decision in this area, whatever area they've been talking about. Excuse me. And it's basically a pledge. So after I explain the character and kind of the interaction, the time of events during the interaction, I'm going to reinforce every decision. So this is decision 1. The first decision for success. It's called The Buck Stops Here. And I'm going to read the entirety of these documents that the main character in the book reads at the end of his interaction with these famous people. So it says, "From this moment forward, I will accept responsibility for my past. I understand that the beginning of wisdom is to accept the responsibility for my own problems, and that by accepting responsibility for my past, I free myself to move into a bigger, brighter future of my own choosing. Never again will I blame my parents, my spouse, my boss, or other employees for my present situation. Neither my education nor lack of one, my genetics, or the circumstantial ebb and flow of everyday life will affect my future in a negative way. If I allow myself to blame these uncontrollable forces for my lack of success, I will be forever caught in a web of the past. I will look forward, and I will not let my history control my destiny." Sit with that for a few minutes. The buck stops here. I accept responsibility for my past. I'm responsible for my success. I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of decisions I have made. My decisions have always been governed by my thinking. Therefore, I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of how I think. Today, I will begin the process of changing where I am, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, by changing the way I think. My thoughts will be constructive, never destructive. My mind will live in the solutions of the future. It will not dwell in the problems of the past. I will seek the association of those who are working and striving to bring about positive changes in the world. I will never seek comfort by associating with those who have decided to be comfortable. When faced with the opportunity to make a decision, I will make one. I understand that God did not put in me the ability to not always make the right decision. He did, however, put in me the ability to make a decision and then make it right. The rise and fall of my emotional tide will not detour me from my course. When I make a decision, I will stand behind it. My energy will go into making the decision. I will waste none of it on second thoughts. My life will not be an apology, it'll be a statement. The buck stops here. I control my thoughts, I control my emotions. In the future, when I'm tempted to ask the question, why me? I will immediately counter with the answer, why not me? Challenges are gifts, opportunities to learn. Problems are the common thread running through the lives of great men and women. In times of adversity, I will not have a problem to deal with, I will have a choice to make. My thoughts will be clear. I will make the right choice. Adversity is preparation for greatness. I will accept the preparation. Why me? Why not me? I will be prepared for something great. I accept responsibility for my past. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. I am responsible for my success. The buck stops here. So that is decision number one. The buck stops here. And I know that if you're not in a good place, that may sound like, crap, don't talk to me about that. That is not possible for me. But I'd ask you to listen to this over and over again until you come to realize that you can do it. You can do it. And I'm here to help you with that. So if you want a one-on-one coaching session with me, free of charge, I'm not ever going to charge you for my time. If you want to just banter with me on DMs, whatever you need to help you come to realize that the buck does stop with you, and you are your decisions, and your decisions are based on your thoughts. So think positive things, make positive decisions. If you make a bad decision, make another one. My friend Chuck Whitten, who was my mentor at IBM when I was a young pup, taught me that. Hey, if you make a bad decision, just make another one. And that's okay. It's okay. It's a journey. Nothing is ever final. And you're never too old to correct your course. So I encourage your feedback. Again, I'll drop a link to the book in the comments, and highly, highly encourage you to buy it and use it. And tomorrow we'll talk about the second decision. Have a great day. Let me know how I can help.